Hi everybody, it's Jama Malmi. Thanks for joining me today. I am joining the creative design team and sharing creative ways to use specialty papers. And for my project, I am creating artwork for a little girl's room. And what little girl does not like unicorns and glitter? So I'm showing you here the holographic paper that Close to My Heart carries, and I decided not to use it after I cut it because it was a little too much for me, but for what I was going for, but it still is so cute. And so I wanted to show you in case it's something that you might want to use for your projects. So there are 3 layers to the unicorn's ears. So I'm showing you the back layer and the front layer in the holographic paper, and just looks so cute. But to me, less is more with the specialty paper because it really packs a punch, and I decided to stick with just the glitter paper. I used some black, silver, and white glitter paper. So on that design that I showed you, that's just where I laid out my project, and I'm actually creating it on an 8x10 backdrop. So I tested out some watercoloring to make sure I had the right strength of color that I wanted, and I used some Lagoon ink from Close to My Heart's dye ink pad. I just smushed it on my all-purpose mat, put a little water on it, and then I'm just watercoloring it with a brush like I would any other watercolor, and it works perfectly. And then I hit it with my heat tool just a little bit on the front and back to make it dry to the touch, and then I let it dry naturally the rest of the way. I just wanted it to not be super wet when I placed the letters down and make sure I liked how it looked. And so I am liking how that looks, so I set that aside, and now I'm going to start gluing together all of my pieces. Now this unicorn started from the Everyday Moments Cricut collection, which is one of Close to My Heart's Cricut collections that is my absolute favorite. There are 2 collections where it is all complete projects that are already designed for you, but you can also take the individual elements and break them apart and use them on your projects however you want. So that is how this unicorn came about. It was part of a layout, and I isolated the unicorn and used just that. Now for the flower crown for the unicorn, I used some flowers that came in that Cricut file, and then I also added some other flowers, which I will show you in a little bit what the complete flower looks like. So I'm adhering most of this down with liquid glue, especially because the glitter paper is rough and sometimes the tape runner doesn't stick well to it. So I used the mono multi glue. It's a little tacky, it sticks well to glitter, and just decided to use that for most of the pieces. Now for the leaves and flowers and this little kind of berry twig, I'm using my fingers to ruffle up all of the edges and give it dimension, because I'm going to be putting this in a frame, but there's not going to be glass over it, and I will point that out in the still photos at the end, so I can have lots of dimension to this. I love making nursery decor and little girls' room decor and little boys' room decor, and I've made a lot of it in the past. And usually when I make an 8x10, I put it in a frame with glass that's store-bought. But my husband has recently taken to woodworking, and I had him make me a whole bunch of frames, and so they don't have glass in the front. However, you could get a store-bought frame and just take out the glass and not use it. So I just showed you there the flower. So the middle flowers that I'm using are from the Stitched Together Cricut collection. I liked the shape of them with the rest of these flowers. And for the colors of these flowers, I did, so for the pink, it's the full strength raspberry on the base layer. The second layer is the light side of raspberry, so it's the same shade, just a little bit lighter. And then the top layer is pixie. And then for the orange, I did nectarine, the light side of nectarine, and then lemonade, I believe. And purple is, I want to say it was pansy, no, gypsy, it might be gypsy, and then the light side of gypsy, and then lilac. So I went with kind of tone on tone for all of the flowers. I tried layering different colors of the flowers, kind of like the horn, but it was just too much going on. So it looked much better to go with kind of the same color family on each of those. So I'm just layering all of these up together, and I end up pushing that horn down a little bit more, just so that it has enough margin between where the frame is going to be and the actual horn. I want that white space there, so it's not too close. And then I'm just going to start adhering everything. Now, I also wanted to mention you can use any flowers you want here, especially if you're not going to have glass over the decor. You can use 3D rolled flowers. You can use lots more dimension. You could use foam tape between the layers of these flowers and give them more dimension that way. I went with glue dots, which gave them a little bit of dimension between each layer, but not a lot. So the sky's the limit. There are lots of options for using the flowers on the unicorn. And I just love those little eyelashes. Aren't they cute? I used black glitter paper to cut those out, and then her name, Adelina, is in white glitter paper. So you've got just the glitter paper around this whole decor and kind of ties it all together. And again, what little girl doesn't love glitter? I know I love glitter, and I guess I'm a little girl at heart. So I really like how this was turning out. I put my ink pads on top of that watercolored area to help it lay flat and adhere, make sure that the glue sticks well for her name. And then I pulled out some silver glitter gems. Now I tried my Close to My Heart gems first, and they were a little too small for this purpose. So I pulled out some other glitter gems I had in my stash, and that helps tie together the silver glitter pieces in the unicorn's crown. And then this is not my project if I don't add some splatters, right? So I really tried hard to just leave it, and I couldn't. I just had to add some splatter. And part of it is because I wanted to tie in the watercolor that was down on the bottom up to the top. And so I used my same Lagoon ink, and then instead of using water, I used my shimmer brush and squirted out a little shimmer gel. It's like shimmer water. Picked up the color and splattered it, and then I picked up more ink, so it's a more intense color, and splattered it around. And then I dabbed a tiny bit of black acrylic paint on a block and picked that up with a smaller paintbrush because I wanted smaller splatters. Sorry for my crazy hair there. And I did a little bit of black splatter as well. The only black I have on this decor are the eyelashes, and I wanted to tie that in just a little bit more. I love black splatter anyway, but that was also kind of my purpose, is to tie in those eyelashes a little bit more as well. So we are done here, and you can see all of that shimmer and shine that the splatters and the glitter gem and that beautiful glitter paper adds. I will link everything that I used down in the description below, but here are some close-ups for you. And in a second, you're going to see more of that frame that my husband made for me. And it is stained as well, and I just love how it turned out. Now be sure to check out the rest of the creative design team members' projects. I've linked them all in the description box below, and they are sure to wow you with their projects using specialty papers. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to do so, and be sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any videos that are coming up. Thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.